Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya
Voice, hear me.
Narayanam Namaskrityam Narayanam Ram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam ततो जयमुदीरये प्रणायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते तमश्लोके भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. We welcome all the devotees today for this class, and from this Purushottam Mass we have double attendance in the temple. So if I am not audible, then you can come. Yeah. If you are feeling hot, you are free to. So we will be reading the third verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, and this verse is like an invitation for all the people, especially the learned people, to come and read or hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So, like when we plan to start the class or resume the class, we are putting some invitations in the group. Or whenever we like to, start some new program, we like to hear from people, or no, we like to invite devotees to please come attend. So this verse is an invitation from the speaker of Bhagavatam to everybody. Please come and relish the nectar of the pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna through Srimad Bhagavatam. So these verses, the initial three verses, are actually talking about the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam and how this Srimad Bhagavatam is actually one of the most important scriptures to be read by anybody who actually want to gain some knowledge and who want to perform devotional service to Lord. So we'll read it as we go through the verse. So first, let's recite the verse. So you can speak after me. Nigama kalpatarur galitam phalam shukamukhat amrita drava sanyutam pibata bhagavatam rasmalayam मुहुरहो रसिका हुई भावुकः निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलम् सुखमुखादमृतद्रव्यसंयुतम् पिबत भागवतं रसमालयम् मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकः निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखाद्रवसंयुतम् पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकः. So you can go on. Now each one of you can try to recite. Others can. पिबत भागवतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयम् मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकः. So let's go word by word. Nigama, the Vedic Literatures. Kalpatarho, desire tree. Galitam, fully matured. Phalam, fruit. Shuka, Srila Shukadev Goswami, the original speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mukha, from the lips of Amrita, nectar. Drava, semi-solid and soft, and therefore easily swallowable. Samyutam, perfect in all respects. Pibata, to relish it. Bhagavatam, the book dealing with the science of the eternal relation with the Lord. Rasam, juice, that which is relishable. Alayam, until liberation, or even in a liberated condition. Muhu, always. Aho, oh, Rasikaha, those who are full in the knowledge of mellows. Bhuvi, on the earth. Avukaha, expert and thoughtful. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Swami Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. Translation. Two expert and thoughtful men relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including inebriated souls. Purport. In the previous shlokas, it has been definitely proved that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the sublime literature which surpasses all other Vedic scriptures due to its transcendental qualities. It is transcendental to all mundane activities and mundane knowledge. In this shloka, it is stated that Srimad Bhagavatam is not only a superior literature, but it is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures. In other words, it is the cream of all Vedic knowledge. Considering all this, patient and submissive hearing is definitely essential. With great respect and attention, one should receive the message and lessons imparted by the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vedas are compared to the desired tree because they contain all things knowable by man. They deal with mundane necessities as well as spiritual realization. The Vedas contain regulated principles of knowledge covering social, political, religious, economic, military, medicinal, chemical, physical, and metaphysical subject matter, and all that may be necessary to keep the body and soul together. Above and beyond all this are specific directions for spiritual realization. Regulated knowledge involves a gradual raising of the living entity to the spiritual platform. And the highest spiritual realization is knowledge that the personality of Godhead is the reservoir of all spiritual tastes or results. Every living entity beginning from Brahma, the firstborn living being within the material world, down to the insignificant ant, desires to relish some sort of taste derived from sense perceptions. These sensual pleasures are technically called rasas. Such rasas are of different varieties. In the revealed scriptures, the following 12 varieties of rasas are enumerated. First, Raudra, anger. Second, Adbhuta, wonder. Third, Shringar, conjugal love. Fourth, Hasya, comedy. Fifth, Veera, chivalry. Sixth, Daya, mercy. Seventh, Dasya, servitorship. Eighth, Sakya, fraternity. Nine, Bhayanaka, horror. 10, Vibhasta, shock. 11, Shant, neutrality. 12, Vatsalya, irony. The sum total of all these rasas is called affection or love. Primary research signs of love are manifested in adoration, service, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. And when these five are absent, love is present indirectly in anger, wonder, comedy, chivalry, fear, shock, and so on. For example, when a man is in love with a woman, the rasa is called conjugal love. But when such love affairs are disturbed, then there will be wonder, anger, shock, or even horror. Sometimes love affairs between two persons culminate in ghastly murder scenes. Such rasas are displayed between man and between animal and animal, but there is no possibility of an exchange or rasa between a man and an animal or between a man and any other species of living beings within the material world. The rasas are exchanged between members of the same species, but as far as the spirit souls are concerned, they are one qualitatively with the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the rasas were originally exchanged between the spiritual living being and the spiritual whole, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual exchange or rasa is fully exhibited in spiritual existence between living beings and Supreme Lord. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is therefore described in the Shruti mantras, Vedic hymns, as the fountainhead of all rasas. When one associates with the Supreme Lord and exchange one's constitutional rasa with the Lord, then the living being is actually happy. These Shruti mantras indicate that every living being has its constitutional position, which is endowed with a particular type of rasa to be exchanged with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the liberated condition only, this primary rasa is experienced in full. In the material existence, the rasa is experienced in the perverted form, which is temporary. And thus, the rasas of the material world are exhibited in the material form of Raudra and so on. Therefore, one who attains full knowledge of these different rasas, which are the basic principles of activities, can understand the false representations of the original rasas, which are reflected in the material world. The learned scholar seeks to relish the real rasa in the spiritual form. In the beginning, he desires to become one with the Supreme. Thus, less intelligent constitutionalists cannot go beyond this conception of becoming one with the Supreme Whole, Spirit Whole, without knowing of the different ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदां। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं गुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना कृष्ण चैतन्य श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री शाखान्विताश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश राधा कान्त तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी विश्वमानो प्रणमामि पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यो एव च पतितानां वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष शून्यवादी देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद अद्वैत हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So this verse, as I was mentioning earlier, is like an invitation from the speaker of the Bhagavatam to everybody, especially the learned class of people, to come and relish the special rasa of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Prabhupada in purport is actually explaining different rasas, how the rasas, the primary or the major rasas, which uh, uh, which everybody has a tendency towards, but because of the effect of Kali Yuga, we are not able to actually exhibit the primary rasas properly, and that's why we end up exhibiting one of the secondary rasas which Srila Prabhupada has mentioned. So why the whole discussion about rasas is starting, because this verse actually talks about. So how an announcement is made, you would have sometimes made some announcements, whether in your college, school, or wherever, or when you have a program in your house, you try to invite people. And how do you invite? Start with a, in Sanskrit we say sambodhana. When uh, you are you're talking to a person, you actually talk to him with a very respected line. So here it is told, "Oh, expert and thoughtful men." That's how the invitation is. So if you see in the verse, it is told, "Aho" means oh, the last line. Muhur aho. Then rasika. Who are rasikas? Rasikas are those who are full in the knowledge of melody. And then who else? Bhavukaha. Bhavuka means expert and thoughtful. So he's telling this Srimad Bhagavatam, even the people who are very thoughtful, even the people who that means that Bhavuka here, if you see the word by word translation, it is kind of referring to jnanis who are thoughtful and expert, and it is also pointed towards bhaktas, means the people who are full in knowledge of mellows, rasikas. So from all there are different rasas, and anybody in any of the rasas, they should relish Srimad Bhagavatam. So that means it's for bhaktas and it's for jnanis. So Prabhupada in the purport initially is talking about rasas, and later he also comes to the transcendentalists, and he says the initial transcendentalists or transcendentalists with less knowledge, they only talk about merging into Brahman. So even for them, this is very important. And the people who are practicing devotional service in one of the rasas, for them also there is an invitation. Please come and relish. And now, how he is explaining about Srimad Bhagavatam, the description of Srimad Bhagavatam, how it is presented. It is presented like a fruit of all Vedic literature. So Nigama is literatures. Kalpataro means desire tree, desire fulfilling tree. And so there are scriptures. Then it is Prabhupada is translating it as the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. So Vedic literatures are like Kalpataru. You ask anything, you get. That's why Prabhupada in purport says that in the second paragraph he's telling that Vedas contain regulated principles of everything. Knowledge of social, political, religious, economic, military, medicinal, chemical, physical, metaphysical. Whatever is necessary is there in Vedas. That's why they are Kalpataru. You ask anything, you desire anything, it comes out from it. Even of that Kalpataru, Srimad Bhagavatam is a matured fruit. So it's pakwa, paripakwa, which is already uh, uh, we say no flowered and fruit. So the fruit is already matured. That means ready to be eaten. Okay? And it's very sweet. So kalpataro galita. Galita means pakwa, which is already mature. Phalam. And what is making it even more delicious? Now, how many of you have had guava? How many of you have ever tried to find a mark of a parrot on the guava and you say it's become sweet and there is a mark of that parrot or a bird on that guava? You tried that? You heard also. Now, what do you think? Whether that bird has made it more sweet? Then why do you search for that mark on that fruit? Okay, but all ripened fruits are not sweet. The parrot is able to identify that sweet. Uh, Parrot is able to identify that this is sweet. And that's why it comes and try to eat that one. So we take help of the parrot to identify the sweetness of that fruit. Yes. But it may also be presented in a way that because of the parrot, the fruit has become more sweeter. Actually, I am not very conversant with that. Maybe on some National Geographic or somewhere you would have more knowledge whether actually the fruit is becoming more sweeter by the touching of the parrot. But definitely the fruit of Srimad Bhagavatam becomes more sweeter when touched by the lips of Shukadeva Goswami. So hearing directly or reading directly is one thing, and hearing from a realized soul is a very different. So here it's telling this is of course a fruit, a ripened fruit, but it has become more sweeter because it has come from the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami. Shuka Mukhat, and that's why it became now an Amrita. It became a nectar, rasa or nectar, and Drava Samyutam. So Drava means what is Drava? Yeah, it is a liquid, but it's a what is translated by Srila Prabhupada. It's like okay, uh, you know what is smoothie? So there is a shake, there's smoothie. This is more like a smoothie, very thick. So Prabhupada is translated as semi-solid and soft, and therefore easily swallowable. So why they are going into so deep? They want to say that this thing can be taken by anybody because sometimes somebody cannot eat solids. Your teeth are not fine, or it is not grown. Or sometimes people cannot take liquid, maybe because swallowing power is not good. You take liquid, it can go to lungs, all medicine. But some people cannot take liquid. But this semi-solid can be taken by anybody. Anyone can take it. It's the most safest and perfect texture of food which can be swallowed. Semi-solid. Okay. So it is that's why drava. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is not only fruit. This is the drava form of the fruit. So it is a rasa and which is semi-solid. So why it is telling like that is because if you say it's a fruit, every fruit has something which needs to be removed and thrown. Let's say it's a mango. Mango has a peel and a seed inside which needs to be thrown. So then we may say that if it's a Galitam Phalam matured fruit, do we need to throw something from Srimad Bhagavatam? Are there some sections which you should not accept? But no, there is nothing which you should not accept. Everything should be accepted. Everything is sweet and nectar in the same quantity. That's why in a smoothie or in a semi-solid shake, everything is equal amount of sweetness. No part has more sweet or less sweet. Otherwise, even in fruit, there are parts which are more sweet and less sweet. Something which is directly attached to the seed, it is little less sweet. Something which is on the periphery is more sweet. I'm just imagining mango. So something is more sweet, something is less sweet. But if you take a galitam phalam and of that amrita rasa drava, that is equally sweet from wherever you take it. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is equally sweet from wherever you take it. And there is nothing which needs to be removed. There is nothing which needs to be thrown. There is nothing which is not important. So Drava Samyutam. And Samyutam means perfect in all respects. That's what is Drava and Samyutam. It's perfect in all respects. So what you are supposed to do, you should drink Pibata, Bhagavatam. Why? Because this is in Kannada. What do we say for temple? Devasthana. In Sanskrit, what do we say for temple? Devalaya. That's temple. What do you mean by Devalaya? Hiding. Devasthan also has come somewhere from that, but Alaya means the place where that thing is found. So actually, Lord is found everywhere. Wherever the Lord is found is a Devalaya. But Alaya means the place where it's found. That's why we have Pustakalaya, Bhagavad Gita, you hear Dukhalaya. This is Rasam Alaya, where you will find all the rasas. Srimad Bhagavatam is Rasam Alaya. Okay, so there is a. So what you have to do if you have if you get a chance that you go in a river of nectar, what will you do? Suppose you go to, you have heard a description of Swarga Loka. There you will find rivers of mango juice, rivers of sugar cane juice, rivers of milk. What will you do when you go to that river? Will you swim in that? Will you like to swim? What will you do? You relish, you drink. Yes. So, what do you do in Rasamala? Relish, drink as much as Pibata Bhagavatam Rasam. So, that's why you should try to drink. But how will you drink? How will you drink Srimad Bhagavatam? So the the sense organ to relish Srimad Bhagavatam is not tongue. I mean it's not mouth, it's ears. You have to drink from here. Now the question comes, why something when it is spoken through the mouth of another realized soul becomes more sweet? Let's say, for example, if I like we were talking about mango. Now, mango, if you make mango juice and drink, and someone else makes a mango juice and gives it to you, what is more sweet? Generally, when we say other one is because we don't have to do anything. Now, let's say Srimad Bhagavatam is not like. Let's say Srimad Bhagavatam is like you have to do the efforts to get that person and tell him to make it and speak. It's like you you have to if even if you want someone else to prepare it for you have to make all the arrangements. You have to get all the mangoes, you have to wash the machine, you have to peel it and give it to him and say just do this one work of making the juice. Sometimes mothers and some ladies in the house, sometimes they want the male partners to make it, but at the end they get fed up because either they don't like the taste or they think when I have to make it happen through you, I have to make more efforts. First instruct everything, do this, and then it comes at that. So I will only do, I'll finish it fast. No need to bother. This is when we don't know how to make it. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, you still like to do all the efforts, but juice has to come from someone else. For example, you want some good speaker to come. Okay, like Mataji arranged for classes. So it's easy that you only give class, but every time you have to call someone, Prabhuji, are you free? Mataji, are you free? Can you take class this day? This is the verse. I'll arrange for your Zoom session. I'll send you ID password, but you just come on that day and speak. Yes, we make all the efforts just to get it from someone else. Though it's easy to give the class directly, why to bother? All this, that, then they'll say, I'm not available on this day. Then you have to get someone else. Then he will say, no, I'm available on that other day. Okay, my Zoom is not working. This is not happening. So much energy goes into arranging. but we still like someone else to give it. Why? Why? It is comes with realization. It comes with that purity. Most important, as Prabhupada has written in the purport, all the rasas culminate in one thing. The sum total of all the rasas, affection or love. It's their love which comes in. That's why when mother prepares same food, it's easy to get it from outside and eat. When mother prepares, there's a love and affection. That's good. They can make a nirjiva to life. Something which is dead, they make it life. That love has that much power to make a nirjiva thing right. Life. If I love this vidanga becomes my life. People who are the people who are addicted to alcohol. Alcohol is dead, but that alcohol becomes their life and soul. They attach so much to alcohol that they cannot stay when that alcohol is not there. Sometimes these kids they like some toy. If you remove that toy, they cry like they that non-living thing becomes living, kind of, because they have put their love into it. So a love can make a non-living thing living. That's the power. So that mother's love makes that food lively, and that gives you when you have it, that gives you another life. Similarly, those self-realized souls can make Srimad Bhagavatam the nectar. They make this as nectar. And when it comes out, so it's like a fruit. What they do is remove all the thing and give that rasa to us. So these acharyas have gone into Vedas. They have this Vyasadeva has gone into Vedas and removed all the unwanted thing, prepared a squash out of it, prepared a smoothie out of it, put it into this Srimad Bhagavatam and presented it to us. And Srila Prabhupada has even more churned it, even more thickened it, and given it to us. That's how we are relishing. Yes. So there are 12 major rasas which are being given. There are 5 primary rasas and 7 secondary rasas. You can worship Lord in all the 12 rasas, but mostly we do in 5 primary. And if we are not able to do that 5 primary, in material, Prabhupada is giving it in a different picture. He's telling in material world, because the 5 primary are not exhibited properly, we end up into secondary. But we should try as much as possible to stay in this fight. Of course, Lord like everybody, all the rasas, he enjoys. But you should remember that is it culminating into love? Is it coming out of love? For example, Lord likes Arjuna into what is the bhava of Arjuna? Sakya, friendship. But Lord also likes Bhishma. What is the bhava of Bhishma? Parent cannot fight with the child. Virya, chivalry. Yes. So the rasa with Bhishma is chivalry. Lord likes everything. He's full of rasa. He's rasa. He is a culmination of rasa. Prabhupada is giving his purport. The Lord is fountainhead of all the rasa. So even horror comes from it. That's why he likes fighting with demons. The horror which has been created by Trinavarta, the horror which has been created by Kamsa, the horror created by Aghasura, Nara created by Putana. Lord likes everything. So he is reciprocating them with that. But we cannot serve the Lord in horror. You cannot make a temple completely dark and start beating drums. So all the devotees are all scared and you think the Lord will be happy. We as a devotees are trying to come to those five primary rajas. At least start with Shanta. But we should minimum have because Dasya Rasa will help you to prevent yourself from offenses. If you directly go to any above rasas without perfecting the Dasya Rasa, the chance of committing offenses because you have not understood the Lord. You have not surrendered to the Lord. You are surrendered to the Lord, all other rasas are. But Dasya Rasa helps you to learn to surrender. You cannot completely surrender to a friend. Arjuna could not completely surrender to Krishna until he actually took that Dasya Rasa for some time, where he says, Shishyakteham Tadiman Tvam Prapannam. When he says Prapannam, now you are master and I am servant. Surrender comes from him. Once you are surrendered, it's easy to get any other higher rasa. If you're not surrendered, you go to higher rasa, you commit offense. Yes, because that respect and all, because when you go to higher rasas, God does not want that thing from you. He wants to go two steps ahead. So that's why the people who are in neutrality or Shanta rasa, or Prabhupada tells them here as less intelligent transcendentalists who want to merge. So those are the one who are in neutrality. No, बिल्कुल उदासीन, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, and they are not even bothered about Lord. So we as a devotee, but at least that rasa is still considered primary. And then we go to higher rasas. Prabhupada has first given us that you should come to Dasya rasa. And if you have perfected your life in Dasya rasa, Lord will automatically, through some devotee or directly, will help you to realize which next rasa you belong. Also, we need to understand that it's not like you have to go to every other rasa two steps. It's not like a dasa, you have to first come to Sakya, then Vatsalya. Lord has kept people, his anshas and his extension for a particular rasa. And they serve him in that rasa. But after dasa. Some people are always dasa. Some people are other rasa. But we, as a followers of Srila Prabhupada, have to first develop. After that, Lord will tell us if we are actually for dasya, other that will automatically, eventually, first become a good servant. So we'll stop here. That I'm just before completing, just telling again those 12 rasas so that we can remember some of them. Five primary we remember. What all are the primary rasas? Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. What are the secondary ones now? Raudra, anger. Prabhupada gives a very good example. When your love has some badha, any obstacle, the same primary becomes secondary. You express secondary ones. You start becoming angry. Sometimes you will kill the person. Okay. So Raudra, anger, then Vivatsa means okay. Then means wonder. Then Shringar. No, not Shringar is prime conjugate. Hasya. Yes, comedy. Then Veeraras. Veerya. That is chivalry. Then Daya. Mercy. Then Rasa. Bhayanaka. Horror. Yes. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Any questions, comments? Basis of all the rasas should be still love. Sometimes even anger comes out of love. Mother has to show anger, but there is a basis which is love. That's why that anger is. If the basis is hatred, then it is not any of the rasa. So if you have love, you can then any other rasa you can relish with the Lord. It is still devotional service. It's not like Krishna was less a devotee and Arjuna was more a devotee. There's nothing like more or less in the spiritual world. Everything is on the absolute platform. There is no discrimination of this less and more. Known as uh, dvandva. This, uh, this disparity, discrimination is known as dvandva. And the spiritual world has no dvandva. There's nothing like more or less. Everything is absolute. That's why you cannot, it says 1 minus Prabhupada used to say 1 minus 1 is also 1, 1 plus 1 is also. So we should not think from our perspective, big, small, higher, lower. So, but the basis should be love. Then it's spiritual. If it's hatred, it's not. And as soon as it's not spiritual, the dvandvas will come. Then you start talking about good, better, best. Okay. So Bhishma Dev is also a perfect devotee. Arjuna is also a perfect. Of course, sometime for explanation's sake, it is told that Gopi Bhava is the highest. That's correct. But nothing else. You cannot say other things are lower. Whatever pleases the Lord is the. So Arjuna is also pleasing the Lord. Even Jai Vijay is also pleasing. So eventually, even I am not at that level that we understand this concept fully. But eventually, we get glimpse of this understanding. But a very eager example, very crude example to understand little bit of this is the love of mother towards the child. No matter the child, whatever way is reciprocated, mother may also reciprocate in different ways with a different with all the children. But the love is, if you say the love is almost same for all. So everybody took some vows for Purushottam is inside. Ashtakams. So which Ashtakam you are that? Chaurashtakam. Shed Gosam. 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We can have some vows. You should also have, if you don't follow this, what will you do? Suppose you could not chant this Ashtakam one day, what punishment are you going to give to yourself? For that, you should keep something which is most difficult for you to do. That you should keep as punishment. That way, we'll progress very fast. Do something simple, but if you don't do this, what you will do is something which is, then you will follow this very strictly. Otherwise, it just becomes like any other. आज नहीं हुआ, okay, tomorrow will do twice. So this month comes once, almost approximately once in 3 months. Because we go with lunar months. Lunar month, the cycle of a moon is, how many days? Not 30 days. Somewhere, you know, how many, the duration of full moon and new moon? Yeah. So it's somewhere around 28, 3 by 4 or 29. Yeah. So every month we have a leftover of around 1.5 to 2 days. So in a year we have a leftover of around, yeah, it is approximately somewhere around 15, 12, 15. So if you say 11, then every 3 years we should have one extra month added. Because we have a leap year in a year, which is 28 days. So over a year we have somewhere around 12. That's why approximately every 3 years that adds up, and we get an extra month. So every month has a Adhishthatri Devi or a demigod, which is the head of that month. And of course, we also have every month on the name of Lord Vishnu. We have Damodar, Mantu, Keshav, Madhav, all those are there. Then we do a 12 tilakas. When you put tilak on 12 part of the body, you chant one name of Lord Vishnu. So that one name is actually one month's name also. Okay. So and similarly, there are one or the other demigod who take care of 1 month. So this when this extra month came, there was nobody to own this month. They just told it Adhik. And because there is nobody to own, everybody together told it as Mala. So waste. Nothing is there in this month. So waste. So then this month became very sad. Nobody is owning me. I am like a orphan. Nobody is owning me. And if nobody owns me, no good activities will happen. Nobody owning me. What will happen to me? So then he went to Lord Vasudeva. Said, this is my plight. Nothing is happening. Then Lord says, nobody is owning you. Jiska koi nahi uska, I own. As soon as the Lord owns somebody from a Mala, now he has become Purushottama. Where nobody is, an orphan has become Purushottama. That's why this month became Purushottama. So, no demigod is owning you. Fine. No material activity will be good in this. But Lord has owned you, so now you are completely spiritual. So only spiritual activities will flourish in this. No material activity will flourish. So don't start any material activity thinking this is a very auspicious month. That may not flourish. You may not find many good muhurtas and dates, etc. for material activity. But for spiritual activity, every moment of this month is a muhurta. So this muhurta is already started. God has owned this. That's why this is very easy. So if we have still not thought of things, think and think wow, tell it to the Lord. You cannot tell it to devotees. But you tell it to the Lord that I want to take this step. That's why before now, as per the Vedic science, any vrata we do, we have to first do udyapana. We have to, or we say this adivasa. You have to first take the vow and tell it to the Lord and take permission or strength to start. It will be very interesting activity. People, November, have you heard of this No Shave November? Yeah. People take some silly vows. So we can also try. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srimad Prabhupada ki Jai Purushottam Adek Maas ki. Tomorrow, Bhagavati Prabhu will come. Friday, Anand Sidhu Prabhu is there. That's all here. Thursday, Shrikant Prabhu. Sorry, Wednesday. Tomorrow, Chakravarti Prabhu should come. Finish the last part of the puppet. Last one. Next episode.